the Bronx is home for me, and whenever you have a chance to give back and to use public service as a way to actually help people in an impactful way, that's why you run. I truly believe that being elected to office in public service is the most comprehensive way to help people. And I had a chance to serve as a staffer to President Obama and see things from a national level and wanted to bring those resources back home. And when you see all that's been happening in the 79th District, the employment challenges, the education challenges, the criminal justice challenges, this is a way to be able to change the game in a transformative way for the people. And that's what I think public service can do. We conveyed a very clear vision of what we're trying to do in terms of changing things positively and transformatively, economic development, education, and equality. We demonstrated that we can be a voice that you trust. When you see that you had 2 of the last 3 were kicked out because of corruption, when you see the low voter turnout, when you see there's so many negative things that are happening there, the people didn't lose hope, though. They had a sense of things can be better. And I really believe people saw our vision. They saw my experience. They saw what I've been doing in the community through Alpha Phi Alpha and being involved with the Bronx Alumni Chapter through 100 Black Men and how we get engaged with our mentees and seeing, okay, what's our vision for moving forward? And I declared a very clear vision. What are we going to do for minority women-owned businesses? How we're going to focus on career-oriented educational structure? And how we're going to create a more equal environment all across the board. If an injustice happens against someone, we can't allow that to occur. And specifically the gun violence dynamic that has been happening in the district, I think people resonated on how we're trying to address that and saying clearly, if you help someone pick up a check, you help them pick up a book, they probably don't pick up a gun. I think the first one was becoming president of my youth group of our church at Calvary United Methodist Church in the Bronx, senior class president at DeWitt Clinton High School. I went to PS 79 118 DeWitt Clinton, and in 2005, I was in Chicago. I went to Northwestern University, and I was working for a TV station and started intern for Jeff Schoenberg, the state senator there. A woman walked in and said, if you don't help me, I'm gonna lose my home. And my family battled homelessness in Jamaica and know that pain. And we helped her keep her home. And she came back and said, thank you. And that was a turning point for me. And so in 2006, I had a chance to be one of 10 people that Senator Obama trained on how to run campaigns through the Yes We Can training program. Was with him from 2007 to the beginning of last year on both campaigns, both inaugurations, and at the White House. I was the director of African American outreach and minority business outreach and state and local outreach nationally. And it was time to come home full time and be engaged. And so my life is about service. My full name, Michael Alexander Blake, are from public servants in Jamaica. Michael Manley and Alexander Bustamante, who were prime ministers. I was born on Christmas Day. So my mom says I was either going to be a preacher, be in politics, or be in journalism. And I was in all 3 in some different ways. So that's what drew me in. And now, we have a family model. We went from no house in Jamaica to the White House in D.C. to the State House in Albany. And that's the vision that we want to do, how we can show the young people that public service is a good and noble thing and can do incredible things in someone's life. First and foremost, minority and women-owned businesses. How do you increase capital, increase contract, and increase opportunities for these businesses? When they grow, when they're successful, when they are able to continue to increase their revenue, what then happens? They hire in their communities. They strengthen the communities. There's a greater community impact that happens from that, number one. Number two, how do we have a career-oriented educational mindset? It's not just about passing an exam. How is someone able to get out from school and get a job and have a career that's sustainable for them? And giving them job training skills, understanding that all different aspects are on the table and how we actually provide that opportunity for these young people. And then number three, what are we doing for equality? When we see that there are families that are being ravaged and impacted because of gun violence, when we see that there are asthma concerns, still in the Bronx, we have challenges of asthma, when we see that there are continual health disparities that are happening there, when we see that transportation is not seeming to be fair across the board in these urban communities, we have to understand what are we doing for this triple E effect: economics, education, and equality. And to me, that's my priority. That's the vision in our communities. And we're seeing that right now. When we change that dynamic, when we get focused on legislation that does those things, we will see communities that become stronger. And our vision is, how do we make the 79th District the urban metropolis of the world? We want you to look at the South Bronx and think positive things. Yes, we're the home of hip-hop. Yes, we're the home of salsa. Yes, we have the Yankees. But we want you to think about the South Bronx and the entrepreneurs. We want you to be thinking about the businesses. We want you to see the schools that are thriving. We want you to see that there are hospitals that are engaged. And this is what we want to have occur. And changing the mindset of how people look at the South Bronx and recognizing if I expect the best in an urban community, I have to look to the 79th District.